Hello everyone, welcome to the 10th episode of History Hoppers, where we dive into yet another historic gem from around the world. This episode marks a special milestone for us, 10 journeys into the past together. If you haven't checked out our previous episodes, go give them a watch and uncover the fascinating stories history has to offer. In today's episode, we are hopping over to St. Augustine, Florida, to explore a fortress that has stood the test of time, Castillo De San Marcos. Constructed between 1672 and 1695, this fortress is the oldest standing masonry fort in the continental United States. Built by the Spanish to protect their hold over Florida, the fort became the strategic defense against British invasions, pirates, and indigenous resistance. What makes this fort truly unique is the material it's built from, which is called Coquina, a rare limestone made of crushed seashells. Unlike traditional stone, Coquina absorbed cannon fire instead of shattering, making the fort nearly impenetrable to enemy attacks. It's like the fortress had its own natural armor. But the real story lies in the lives of soldiers who were stationed there. Castillo de San Marcos wasn't just a fort, it was home to a garrison of soldiers who lived there in harsh conditions. These men were often poorly paid and far from home. They lived in cramped quarters, cooked over open fires, and endured the relentless Florida heat and humidity while wearing heavy wool uniforms. Supplies were inconsistent, morale fluctuated, and the diseases was an ever-present threat. Yet, they trained daily, patrolled the surrounding area, and remained ready for the potential British attack at any moment. The fort also stood guard over St. Augustine, one of the Spain's key port cities in the Americas. This wasn't just a military post, it was a major trade point, connecting the New World with Europe. Goods like sugar, coffee, silver, textiles, and weapons came through here regularly, exchanged for spices, gold, and crops grown here in the colonies. The fort's cannons didn't just defend the city, they protected an entire economic lifeline. Spanish fleets passed through this area en route to Europe, making Castillo de San Marcos a critical link in the Transatlantic trade network. Speaking of the transatlantic connections, if you are fascinated by how the old world and the new world stayed connected, you'll love our episode on the French cable station, which was the part of early transatlantic telegraph system. It's a whole different kind of history, but just as important. Please check out that episode if you haven't seen it yet. It's a peek into how communication crossed oceans before satellites and Wi-Fi came into picture. Back to Castillo, life for the soldiers here was tough. Yet, they kept watch over the coastline, trained daily, and were always ready for the next threat. Their sacrifice helped maintain Spain's grip on the New World for over 2 centuries. Over time, the fort changed hands, from Spanish to British, back to Spanish, and eventually to the United States. Through wars, revolutions, and shifting empires, it remained a sentinel, a silent witness to the unfolding story of the Americas. That's all from our side of this episode of History Hoppers. If you enjoy learning about historical gems hidden in the folds of nature and time, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you are intrigued by the global connections we hinted at today, don't miss out our video on the Transatlantic French cable station. It's linked below and waiting for you. Let us know in the comments if you have ever visited Castillo de San Marcos or if you have a place in mind for our next historical adventure. We'll be back soon with another journey into the past. Until then, stay curious and hop through history with us. Bye-bye.